Unit 8 talks about transformations, which means changes. So we're going to be talking about 3 different types of changes. The first one is a translation. And a translation is a slide or a move. So the shape that we're going to be translating slides or moves to a new position. It's very easy to think about this in the sense of taking something in language. So if I said hello in English and I wanted to say, what does that mean in French, let's say, it would be translated to be exactly the same thing, but in a different language. So this shape gets translated into this image down below, but even after it goes into this image, even though it's moved, it is exactly the same. So for instance, the top left-hand corner in this shape, we could label that as A. In this image right here, it is also the top left-hand corner, and we just call that A prime. So that little ticky mark right there is called prime. So the bottom left might be labeled a nasty-looking B. The bottom left in the image is B prime, like that. So a shape is translated when it moves along a straight line from one position to another. So it's a translation or a slide. The shape doesn't turn; it literally stays the same orientation. So when we move this, we draw what's called a translation arrow, and it's this thing right here. The translation arrow says the top right-hand corner here in the shape becomes the top right-hand corner in the image. So our shape is our original one, our image is what it becomes. When we talk about this, we always talk about the movement as how many units right or left, and then we talk about how many units up or down. It's always going to be the horizontal first and then the vertical. So in this case, it says this shape has been translated 2 squares right and 2 squares down. It's always the right left first and then the up and down. The translation arrow, talks about right here, joins the matching points on the shape and its image. And the shape and the image always face the same way. So we can try a few of these. If we move down here, it says, do these pictures show translations right, yes or no? Well, in this case, this shape is where we start. The image is where it went to. So this shape would have moved over from here to here. So let's take this point right there. So the bottom right-hand point would have moved over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1 up. So we go 4 to the right and 1 up, and that's where it ends up. So is that a translation image? Yes, that one is. Is this a translation image? No, it's not, because our shape is here, and the image is down here. So somehow the shape has been rotated so that the orientation, this little thing, the line of 3 squares, now runs vertically here. For it to be a translation, so this is not a translation. For it to be a translation, it would have to, or the image would have to look like this. And in this case, we would have moved 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and 1 up. If we come down here, it says, translate each shape. Draw the image and a translation arrow. So we're going to move this guy. This is our shape right here. And we're going to make our image 3 squares right and 2 squares up. So let's start with our bottom right-hand corner right here. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and 1, 2 up. So there's our point. Now, there's a couple of different ways we could do this. We could start at the top right-hand corner and go 1, 2, 3 to the right and 2 up and draw it there. Or we could look at it and go, on our original shape, this point here at the top of the triangle was 1, 2, 3 squares up from our bottom right-hand corner. So if we go over here to our image, we could go 1, 2, 3, and there is our point. This point over here on the shape was 2 squares left of the original position we moved. So we could go up here and go, it's 2 squares left, and there it is. We connect those dots in my beautifully straight lines, and that becomes our translation image. So it says here, draw the image in a translation arrow. So in this case, we started down here, and our translation arrow would go like this. And that is what we did.